Here's number 3. The shift from victim to catalyst requires a reminder of responsibility, a plea for divine deliverance, and an embracing of a new identity. An embracing of a new identity. This is so dope because this is where Esther shifts. See, in verse 8, he's commanding her, hey, Thad, go tell Esther to do this, this, and this. By verse 17, Esther has ordered Mordecai to go do, and he does. What happened there? She embraced the fact that, yes, Mordecai raised me, and I respect him, and I'm going to do what I can to honor him, but now God has made me the queen, and I am the queen, and I have the power to order people around. And so I'm going to do it. I'm going to strategize. I'm going to bring my best prayerful thoughts to this, and I'm going to tell people what to do because that's her role now. That's her authority. She walks in her authority, and she's still taking a risk. In fact, Esther is in some ways the opposite image of Queen Vashti. Remember her? So she refuses to come to the king, and she loses her role. Esther gets the role, and now she is risking death going to the king. But she chooses to act. She chooses to order. And she's going to not only order Mordecai, she's going to face off with Haman himself, right to his face. She can say, hey, this is your deal. This is what you did. Now, here's what the application for us fiercers today. Esther did not get a burning bush. She did not get a pillar of fire in the cloud. She didn't get any miracles. She didn't even get any conversation with God about it that we're aware of. Like, there was no call. There was no, like, Esther, I speak unto you. You're going to go in and slay your enemies. Like, nothing like that happened at all. She's just, like, doing her best and asking people to fast. And I think that's their purpose for us to know, guys, yeah, I'd love a burning bush. I'd love to just know for sure there's miraculous angels around me, and they're telling me, Carter, go, 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 go. Yeah, that'd be way easier with a lot of stuff. But in Esther's case, God doesn't say anything. She's just like, what does she know? She knows, I have a responsibility. The responsibility is the call. The responsibility is how God is telling me to do this. So she walks in courage. Courage is different than just not fearing. We talk about fear, we talked about it last message. When we're walking in fear, we're doing everything we can just to not back up. With courage, we're not just trying to not back up. Courage is saying, I'm stepping in. I'm going for it. I'm going to make this happen. I am afraid, but I'm still going to make this thing happen in Jesus' name. It is here that Esther, I think she makes the decision, it's going to come out later, but she decides, I am going to reveal myself that I am with these people. I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. Here's what Esther knows about courage. You can be courageous for like noble reasons, even reasons like, hey, I just want to be the kind of person that would be brave here. That's a good reason to have courage, but there's a better reason. The best reason to have courage is love. It's love. I'm going to love these people. And Esther has kept her identity hidden, and there is a wisdom for a time. I'm going to stay hidden while I figure out what's going on here, but love eventually demands I will courageously step forward and say, I identify with these people. And in Jesus' name, I've got to act. And that is what Esther is showing us to do. My friends, as a Christ follower, you and I, there's a time to be awesomely wise, but just know, Christ followers are not called to play it safe. That's not our bag, baby. That's not how we roll. That's not how we do it. That's not how we've done it through the centuries. That's not how God is asking us to do it today. Don't play it safe. Esther fights. I'm going to bring two of my worlds together right now. And so I just need you to flow with me. I know that I'm going to talk about something really nerdy that most of you don't even care about or care to understand at all. I'm going to bring this up. And so just know that this is, you don't need to like it. You don't need to find out more about this. I just need you to understand the story. And I need you to not judge me because you're going to be like, Carter, I don't know if that's okay to watch that show. Just so you know, we use filters on VidAngel to watch this particular show. So there's a lot of hell taken out. I would also advise, if you're going to watch this show, it's called The Walking Dead. If you're going to watch this, it can be scary for people. So I don't want you to be like, the pastor told me to watch this, and now I'm horrified. Just don't watch it. Like, it's my show. You got your show. I don't want to watch your show. It's my show. So it's a story about my show, okay? So here we go. Let me introduce you to one of the most awesome power couples in the history of fiction. It is Rick and Michonne. You might have thought, there they are, Rick and Michonne. They are a power couple in the zombie apocalypse. It's way cooler than that just sounded. And you might think the real power couples are people like Romeo and Juliet. And I'll just tell you, dude, I don't think they'd last 10 minutes in the zombie apocalypse. Those two are just going on and on and on and on, and then they just get eaten. That's what happens to them. But these two fall in love, and they take responsibility for the people around them to lead. And as they go throughout the series, I'm going to give away a spoiler. Hey, man, that show started in 2010, okay? There's been a lot of time to go through this. It's also, it's on Netflix. It's not hard to get to this thing, okay? They're going through a real low point. There's a guy named Negan and his people, and they've come in, and they've essentially instructed Rick and Michonne and their people, hey, if you don't bring us a certain amount of food and supplies with regularity, every time you're short on what we want you to bring us, we're just going to kill you. Now, in the zombie apocalypse, you have to bring people, you have to go find stuff because everyone's already eaten all the stuff, and you got to forage, and there's no factories, nobody makes anything. And so they're under this burden for like an entire season. If we don't get Negan what he wants, he's just going to kill one of our people. And Rick goes from leader to appeaser. He's so scared of what Negan might do to his people that he stops acting. And he and Michonne, his good woman who speaks a good encouragement to him, just like a good woman does, she speaks a good encouragement to her husband. She pulls him aside and she says, Rick, this isn't who we are. I know that it's scary. I know that, you're afraid that they're gonna get hurt, but this is not who we are. We fight. And they do, they're hardcore, and they've given up for that for a minute. But she reminds him, dude, you're living out of the wrong identity. You're just trying to be the appeaser. I need us to become, again, the power couple that is willing to fight for others and save them. That's who we need to become. And my friends, I want to challenge us, like Rick and Michonne. It is your time. For such a time as this, you were put on this earth, you were put in the place that you are. And I would just challenge you, it is not time to be an appeaser. It is a time to stand up for what is good, to oppose evil, to care about people enough to say, I might get hurt with this, but I'm gonna go forth and do it anyway because it's my time on earth, like Esther, to do whatever I can. I can't do everything, but in my sphere, I can do what I can do. And I'm gonna do that thing because we fight. God calls us certain things in the Bible. See, when we come to Christ, you're no longer who you were. Even though you sometimes act the way that you used to, you now have a new identity. You are a son or daughter of the King. That means even though sometimes you and I are dishonest, Jesus is the spirit of honesty. So because he's the spirit of honesty, that means the spirit of honesty is on the inside of me. That means it's not just that I'm occasionally honest. In Jesus' name, I am an honest representative of the King of heaven. So that's why I'm gonna be honest. I don't just give, I'm a giver because God's a giver. I don't just work, I'm God's excellent worker because that's what God is. I'm not just gonna give up because God is relentless and tireless and he just keeps going. Yes, when you get slapped in the face down, I know it's hard, but we get up because we don't appease. We fight, we believe again. So I would encourage you to name what is the aspect of God's character that needs to rise up in you today. This is, I am this God's son or daughter. I don't respond in fear, I don't run. I don't act in unwisdom, but I don't back down. I do what God has made me to be. Because of the cross, because of God's sovereignty, we can trust whatever you do, dude, it's all within God's sovereignty. He's got your back. It's gonna be okay. You're gonna be just fine. It's okay to take that risk just like Esther did. And he might not fix it right away. It might be that you don't even live to see exactly how he resolves that, but you can trust that he is good. Esther says, if I perish, I perish. Sometimes in the Bible, for those that don't know this, there's a person that is a lesser picture of who Jesus is. And Esther is that. She says, if I perish, I perish. And Jesus says, I will perish so you can live. I will perish so you can live. And Mordecai says, deliverance will arise from somewhere. And Jesus is the Son of Righteousness that rises with healing in his wings. The ultimate balm, the ultimate cure, the ultimate medicine that we all need is Jesus. Hope is in Jesus, our courage is in Jesus, our deliverance is in Jesus. Do you need to trust Jesus with your stuff today? Do you need to push it across the table and say, Jesus, you're enough, like you're smart, you know what you're doing, I'm gonna do my best to be brave? If you do, I wanna invite you to trust him again. We're gonna pray that after communion here in a second. But there's others of you who you don't know, man. You don't know about the Jesus thing. In fact, you don't necessarily know what the big deal is. Why do I need this crutch? Why do I need this Jesus help? If that's where you are, let me give you a friendly challenge. You can take it or leave it. The friendly challenge is ask Jesus to bring conviction for your sin. We're so sinful, guys, we don't even feel our sin sometimes. Say, Jesus, if this is really real, because Jesus looks like a great idea for the person that knows that they're a sinner. When you know, like, oh my gosh, I'm way worse than I thought. Jesus starts to look really good because he'll take your place. He's like, yeah, I know, take me. I'll get rid of that. If you don't have that softness, though, to know that you've betrayed a holy God, that's something he can give. You just have to ask for it. And he will. So test him in this and see what he does. I promise, if you're honest, he'll come meet you in it.